Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Lucas Engström and I love Taiwan. In fact, I have lived here for 8 years and during those 8 years I've actually only been back home twice. But just because I haven't been back more than twice during the last 8 years doesn't mean I don't miss Sweden, of course. Especially during times like these. I don't know if you know, but normally my mom would come and visit me here in Taiwan every 6 months like clockwork for the past 8 years. But because of COVID-19, she has not been able to come here yet this year. So this is actually the first time during the last 8 years where I haven't seen my mom for more than 6 months. So in this video, although I do love Taiwan, you will still see the Taiwanese flag up there. I decorated the studio in the Swedish colors because I just wanted to share the things I do miss most about Sweden and also share some tips and tricks that makes me survive my stay here in Taiwan. And there's a special reason for why I'm making this video right now, because today, as I'm recording this, all my family and friends back home are celebrating one of the absolute biggest Swedish traditions. I wish I could explain what you just saw here, but all I can say is welcome to Swedish Midsummer. Midsummer is the most Swedish tradition and it includes a lot of things which obviously I will not have time to cover in this video, but we are gonna talk about the stång, the sill and the kubb. The stång, the midsommarstång, one of the most iconic symbols of Swedish midsummer. That is the pole, which is covered in flowers and which everyone in Sweden will dance around on this day while singing some ridiculous songs about the Swedish wildlife, such as the priest little crow and the tiny frogs. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it either. But that's the great thing about midsummer. It doesn't have to be explained, it just has to be enjoyed. And I guarantee you that no matter your age, every single one in Sweden is enjoying dancing around the midsommarstång. And it's just as Swedish as watching Donald Duck on Christmas Eve at 3 o'clock. But that is a completely different video which we will talk more about in December. So until then, just make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to get notified as well. Once the dancing has stopped, it's time to enjoy the Swedish smorgasbord filled with delicious foods such as egg, herring, salmon, potatoes and strawberries. And all of the eating more or less never stops throughout the day. Somehow we always manage to gather enough energy to go out and play the ancient game of kubb, which, according to the legend, was invented by the Vikings over 1,000 years ago. The rules are simple: 2 teams stand on each side and take turns to throw some wooden sticks on some wooden cubes, and the team who knocks down the opponent's cubes first wins. The second rule of the game is that you shouldn't try to hit mom, dad. So there you had a crash course in the Swedish midsummer tradition, and that is definitely the #1 reason for why I miss Sweden a little bit extra today. So it's true that midsummer only is a once a year kind of event, but I do also miss the everyday life I had while growing up literally out of nowhere in the Swedish forest. There's basically no neighbors other than some deers, birds and a massive lake literally 20 meters away from the door, no internet, a big lawn that needs to be cut like literally all the time, and living in a house that doesn't even have electric heating. So in order to be able to take warm showers, you first need to go out into the forest, chop down a tree. It's not an easy task taking a shower. Bring the tree back home, chop it up into smaller pieces so you can make a fire that will then heat up both the house and the water at home. So if anyone below the age of 50 is watching this and hear that there's no internet, you have to work every day and you are not even guaranteed hot showers, it might sound terrible, and I have to admit that for a 14-year-old Swedish guy who grew up like this, you weren't really looking forward to cutting that lawn. But after 8 years in a small Taipei apartment, you start to appreciate the things that you once had. Next thing on my list is pretty much as far away from cutting the lawn on a hot summer day as you can possibly get. That is snowboarding. If you've already watched my Japan video, then you do know that I really enjoy snowboarding. And one thing that is pretty cool is that I've actually went snowboarding on 3 continents, from Anchorage, Alaska to Sweden, and now Osaka, Japan. Now, sadly, I don't have any footage from my Swedish snowboard career, which, based on my snowboard level at the time, is for the better. But if you do want to see some modest snowboarding skills and some pretty cool Insta360 shots, then you should definitely check out my Japan video after this one. Next thing on my list is actually what I missed the most my first couple of years in Taiwan, but which I later was able to find a way around so I no longer miss at all. And that is to watch Swedish TV shows and movies. Although most of the Swedish TV shows and movies are available on online streaming devices, they're most of the time not available outside of Sweden. But thankfully I find a workaround for this, and that is NordVPN, which I'm also very honored to say is the sponsor of today's video. If you don't know what a VPN is, it's basically a program you can put on your computer. It's an app you can download, which tells the internet that your device is somewhere else. Apparently a VPN is a lot more than that, and it just adds a whole new level of security as well if you're trying to access an open public network such as an airport or a cafe of some sort. And I have to admit, I honestly had no idea about that, but if you just use the VPN, all of that is done automatically, so you don't have to activate anything. It just adds a completely new layer of security just by itself. Now, I wish I could say that I was responsible enough to say that the protection and security was definitely the reason for why I started using NordVPN 3 or even 4 years ago, but for me, number one reason for using NordVPN is Netflix. Now, I'm just gonna assume that everyone watching this video is familiar with Netflix. If you're not, it's basically like my YouTube channel, but with less interesting videos. But what you may not be aware of is that all the videos and TV shows on Netflix are not available in every single country. For example, according to the website Finder.com, Taiwan only had 139 TV shows and 398 movies last year, whereas Swedish people could enjoy 342 TV shows and 1,738 movies. And of course, people from the US can see even more. So now do you understand why you want the internet to think that your device is somewhere else? So by using the VPN, it's super easy, and you literally just have a list of countries then you can jump into, and then once you're connected, whatever you're connected to on the internet will think that you're located in that country. Simply put, means that you will have access to that country's entire Netflix library. NordVPN is the only one that I know of that actually works with Netflix. There are several others out there, they just simply would not work, and with only one single subscription, you also get access to the computer, tablet, and phone app, so you can watch from wherever you want. So if you want to give it a try and enjoy Netflix the way it's supposed to be enjoyed, and then also that thing with the security and stuff as well, then you have a link in the description below that will not only give you up to 70% discount if you use the code Lucas, you also get 1 extra month for free. You're welcome. And the last thing on my list is, of course, all my family and friends. Although they do come quite regularly before the whole COVID-19 thing, I do heavily miss them, of course, while I'm here on the other side of the world. But I'm pretty sure that as soon as the restrictions and the world opens up, then Mom and Dad might actually be on the very first flight from Sweden to Taiwan. So hopefully we will be able to make some videos with them here in Taiwan before the end of the year. That was everything I wanted to share in this video. If there's anything else you want to know about Sweden or my lovely home out in the Swedish forest, please leave a comment below or on my social media as well. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel to show your support. Please also check out my Patreon page if you want to support me even more. And like we say in Sweden, hej då!